in 1978.
And when you went back in, what were you doing at that point?
I was at that point, I was the assistant S2 of the 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment during the Cold War in Germany. And I was also the regiment's first electronic warfare officer.
Very interesting. As a electronic warfare officer, what was your duties?
It was twofold. One was to jam Russian and East German communications if we had to, and the second was to monitor and intercept and record Czech, East German, and Russian communications, tactical communications. Later on in my career, I switched to strategic signals intelligence and other very secret stuff.
Well, how did you get recruited into remote viewing unit?
Well, I was working in about circa 1979. I was selected to go to a very small Department of the Army unit. We were like the skunk works of the intelligence community. We were really guys that were not only out of the box thinkers, but we didn't have any boxes. So we were able to run rings around the rest of operational intelligence in terms of defining the correct targets and how to plan operations against them, and then to create the devices and the things that we needed to execute the mission and then go for it. So we were quite secret, but I had everything at my disposal. It was a dream assignment, anything that an intelligence officer needed. I was being groomed as a biological warfare a case officer, a spy master, and I was being targeted against very exotic physics types of targets that the Russians were developing. I had agents on the ground, I had satellites, I had things that I still can't talk about available to me, but by hook or by crook, I could not, and my colleagues could not penetrate certain Russian programs, erstwhile Soviet programs, some of the nuclear weapons programs, and especially biological and chemical warfare programs. We had all the tools that we could muster, but we still couldn't penetrate that. But I became aware of a nascent Army CIA unit. Well, actually, the CIA had dropped it for political reasons, and the Army picked it up of this remote viewing program, Psychic Spies. And they were providing me with information I could get nowhere else. And it was a foot in the door for me, so I could cross-cue other systems of mine. For instance, I could redirect, if I suspected a biological warfare laboratory in, let's say, a city south of Moscow, I could redirect the satellite and redirect my agents on the ground to take a look at that particular building and see if I was dead on target.